Mu Kyung thought that mastery in martial arts meant fully understanding your skills and using them freely without any issues. But even he, with his high spiritual level, had only mastered 2 top-tier arts in under 10 days. That was a miracle. He stared at his broken wooden sword in disbelief. I just wanted to train him to fix his bad habits and weak basics, he thought. Who knew he could do the impossible? Apart from a few small flaws in his stance and form, he's almost perfect. His strength, stamina, and speed beat others at his level by far. He watched Jin Tae-kyung, who was sweaty and focusing on his QI. And he's still getting better at an scary fast rate, Mu Kyung thought. It's hard to believe this whiny kid, who only trained to show off muscles to girls, changed so much in less than 3 years. On the other side, Jin Tae-kyung stared at his new skill in confusion. Scroll crafting? Mu Jin thought he's far from being the divine god of war, but it's almost as if he's. The system notice said, with scroll crafting, you can make your own martial scrolls based on the arts you've mastered. Since it was a new skill, he felt excited at first. He scratched his cheek nervously and muttered, but it's pretty useless. Well, better than nothing. Suddenly, Mu Kyung smacked Jin Tae-kyung's head. Why are you spacing out? Jin Tae-kyung winced in pain. Ah, damn. Why do you keep hitting my head? Mu Kyung tossed his broken wooden sword aside. Who said it's okay to look away during a match? Anyway, your training is done. The system pinged, quest pass or fail will depend on Mu Kyung's review. Mu Kyung grunted. You're still far from finished. It took you 10 days just to get here. What a waste of my, he cut off when he saw Jin Tae-kyung's face. Huh? What's with that look? Jin Tae-kyung smirked. What do you mean? Mu Kyung snapped, I'm talking about that dumb face of yours. Jin Tae-kyung hid his joy. He had just seen the system notice, level up. You completed your training. Your reward is in your inventory. He pointed at Mu Kyung and teased, you're 25, but you act like a shy kid. Mu Kyung got mad. What nonsense is that? Jin Tae-kyung laughed. Don't worry. Being a bashful boy at your age is totally fine. Just then, a man stepped into the training arena. Young masters? Mu Kyung had his fist raised to punch Jin Tae-kyung, but he stopped. The man bowed. The lesser family head has summoned you both. At the main building of the lesser family head, Mu Kyung and Jin Tae-kyung arrived. They asked, where do you want us to go? Wai Kyung wanted both of them to head to the Mount Hong Sword sect. They would be important guests at the upcoming summit. Mu Kyung quickly asked, but why do you need us? No, why do you need me to go there? Jin Tae-kyung heard that and glanced at Mu Kyung. Look at this guy trying to wiggle out of it, he thought. Wai Kyung replied, this is because the sect leader of the Mount Hong Sword sect specifically requested it. Hearing that, both Mu Kyung and Jin Tae-kyung looked confused. The sect leader, they asked. Mu Kyung added, I thought their old sect leader. The bloodhound Lee Chanbik and most of their top martial artists died at the 8th Heavenly Valley. Their second son, Lee Seo-gun, was poisoned to death. I also heard the first son got killed by some mountain bandits a while back. If all that's true, how does the Mount Hong Sword sect still have a sect leader? Shouldn't they have closed their gates? Wai Kyung replied, right now, they are still one of the famous families in Shanxi province. That's why we can't ignore their potential. As long as their sect leader is alive, they can always make a comeback. Jin Tae-kyung asked curiously, their brains. And who is that? Wai Kyung said, their current leader is Lee Seo-woo. Jin Tae-kyung questioned. Lee Seo-woo? Is that the bastard child of Lee Chanbik, or maybe a distant relative? Wai Kyung was speechless for a moment. It seems you don't remember, Jin Tae-kyung quickly replied, huh? Is it someone I should know? Wai Kyung said, the new sect leader of the Mount Hong Sword sect is a woman. She's the third child of Lee Chanbik and the only sister of the late Lee Seo-gun. Jin Tae-kyung stood there in confusion. Then he suddenly remembered. Lee Seo-gun had once claimed that Jin Tae-kyung ripped off his sister's clothes and tried to rape her. After recalling that, he lost his cool. How is this possible? Mu Kyung asked, you two know each other? Wai Kyung started to reply, so, the request from the newly appointed sect leader of the Mount Hong Sword sect. Before he could finish, Mu Kyung's face lit up with happiness. He tried to back out of going. But Wai Kyung added, if you go, there will be a practitioner willing to share some of their peak realm martial scrolls. Hearing this, Mu Kyung, a total fanatic for martial scrolls, stopped in his tracks. When should we leave? Wai Kyung replied, immediately. A system notification appeared, yesterday's enemy is today's friend. New quest, now that the truth is out, the Mount Hong Sword sect is no longer your foe but an important ally. You must get to know them. Before the next summit, make sure to bring them to the Jin family of Taiyuan. Jin Tae-kyung thought, this quest isn't too hard, and there's no penalty if I fail. I just need to deliver the invitation letter, and that's it. Even though I'm glad it's so simple for this forced quest, I can't help feeling a bit worried. It's way too easy. Anyway, what's more important is that I can log out during this quest. Jin Tae-kyung smiled happily after reading the notification. He thought, I should finish my contract with Leader Choi and test out my new martial arts. Mu Kyung, sitting in front of him, said, going by carriage should take us a few days to get there. Mu Kyung yelled at the horseman outside. Go faster. A voice from outside replied, first of all, I'm not a horseman. Second, I can't go any faster than this. You probably don't know because you're inside, but it's freezing cold out here. The roads are frozen over, so this is as fast as we can go. Mu Kyung snapped, what? Then if you're not a horseman, why are you sitting there? The voice replied, well, before we left, you told all the traveling attendants to get lost because they were in the way. And it just so happened the real horseman was one of them. Mu-kyung remembered and said, ah. Right. Then who the hell are you? He opened the window and realized it was Hyuk Mu-jin. Mu-kyung quickly closed it. Why didn't you leave with the others? You should have brought the horseman instead. Hyuk Mu-jin replied, I only obey the third young master's orders. Mu-kyung looked at Jin Taekyung. Is that so? You two sure get along well. He noticed Jin Taekyung and asked, what the hell are you doing? Jin Taekyung replied, I'm trying to do QI meditation. Mu-kyung said, what do you mean? It looks like you're trying to sleep. Jin Taekyung shouted angrily, I'm trying to circulate my QI. QI meditation. You know what happens if you disturb me, right? Chi deviation, do you understand now? Mu-kyung got mad, stood up, and moved to hit him. But Jin Taekyung said, I'm going to start now. Don't disturb me. Jin Taekyung closed his eyes, scared he would get beaten again. A few minutes later, he opened them. Mu-kyung was sitting back in his spot, peacefully. Jin Taekyung wondered, I don't know if I can trust him with my precious body. Anyhow, it's fine. I'll let it slide this time. Then he thought, anyhow, the time has come. A system notification appeared. Do you want to log out? Yes or no? Jin Taekyung said yes to the system. In the real world, in Jin Taekyung's room, he suddenly stepped outside because the room was too hot. His body was covered in sweat. As he walked out, he muttered, man, I'm burning up. What a crappy apartment. I need to hurry and move out of this dump. While checking his phone, he thought, since I spent about 20 days in the other world, that means 10 days there is just 1 hour here. Suddenly, his phone rang with a message from Rich Guy. It said, same time and place tomorrow. Please don't forget. After reading it, Jin Taekyung remembered their talk. He thought, let's take a shower first. Then he wondered, should I get my rank re-evaluated? The next day at the coffee shop, at the same time, Jin Taekyung signed the documents. The system alerted, you have joined the guild piece. You finished signing your guild contract. For this achievement, you gain 10 points. Reading the notification, Jin Taekyung thought, I didn't expect this to count as an achievement. He happily handed the documents to Leader Choi. I'll be in your care. Leader Choi took them and said, my pleasure. Then he asked, in any case, didn't you say yesterday that I should raise the terms in your contract? Are you sure you're okay signing it as is? Jin Taekyung laughed. I was just messing with you. It's impossible for someone to change that much in just one day, right? He thought about the great deal, a $500. 000 down payment, $50,000 monthly pay, and a 70% claim ratio. Plus, the guild would provide a house and a car. No need to raise suspicion by getting my rank re-evaluated. Leader Choi said, I'll finish processing the contract by tonight. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, Jin Taekyung interrupted. Leader Choi looked serious. Yes, Jin Taekyung said, please slap my face. I just want to make sure this isn't all a dream. Leader Choi slapped him without hesitation. Jin Taekyung was shocked. What the hell? You really slapped me with no pause? Leader Choi said, I'm the type who can't turn down a request. Then he added, in any case, are you awake now? Jin Taekyung, angry, replied, yes, I'm most definitely awake. Leader Choi said, that's good to hear. It's always best to meet others when you're feeling fresh. Jin Taekyung looked confused. Meet others? What do you mean? Leader Choi smiled happily. Your guild members. Who else? Jin Taekyung said, okay then. Leader Choi replied, let's get going. They got in the car. After a few minutes, they reached the place. Leader Choi brought Jin Taekyung to meet the other members. Jin Taekyung looked around the district where all the top 100 guilds gathered. He thought, the time has come for me to live a luxurious life as a hunter. But then he realized the rundown building was their guild house. Jin Taekyung was shocked. Why is there a rundown building here? Leader Choi replied, that's our guild house. After hearing that, Jin Taekyung felt disappointed. He thought, even if we're in a top district, if the guild looks this bad, what's the point? Couldn't Leader Choi do better? On his behalf, Leader Choi asked Butler Kim, how much did it cost to buy this place? Butler Kim replied, a little over $2 million. Suddenly, Jin Taekyung's eyes widened. His thoughts changed. Actually, I should just be happy I even got to join this place. Most guilds would never give me this chance. He quickly turned and grabbed Leader Choi's hands with excitement. Both Leader Choi and Butler Kim were shocked by his sudden move. Jin Taekyung said, I don't care if our guild house is a small supermarket or a rundown shack. I promise I'll give it my all. Hearing that, Leader Choi replied, confused, sure. I'll be thankful if you do. Suddenly, the plaque on the building fell to the ground. They all looked at it. Leader Choi said, this place will look better with a little remodeling. A person came outside. He looked at the plaque and said, my goodness, it fell down again. After seeing this guy carry the plaque, Jin Taekyung asked, Mr. Rough Guy. The rough guy looked at Jin Taekyung happily. How have you been? I heard you reached C rank, Jin Taekyung said, yeah, I did. Wait, why are you here though? The rough guy set the plaque aside and laughed. What do you mean? Is it wrong for a guild member to be at the guild house? Then he added, while I was recovering in the hospital, Leader Choi came and asked if I'd join his guild. He didn't have to say it twice. I accepted right away. Leader Choi interrupted, that's because I can tell you're a trustworthy person. Jin Taekyung quickly said, wait, then did you just join this guild? The rough guy smiled. Yep. He may be young, but he's a good man. Mr. Kim might be quiet, but he's also. Jin Taekyung looked confused at both of them. Then have you met the other guild members? It's not just the four of us, right? The rough guy said, of course not. Hearing that, Jin Taekyung smiled. Phew. That's good too. The rough guy looked to his left. Oh. Speak of the devil. Miss Song. Over here. We got a new recruit. Jin Taekyung turned that way too. Leader Choi said, including Miss Song, it's 5 of us in total. Miss Song carried some bags and said, hi there. You guys came earlier than I thought. Leader Choi and Butler Kim took the bags from her. Leader Choi asked, why did you buy so much? I already reserved a place for us to eat. Miss Song replied, why go there? It's expensive and doesn't give much food. I think it'll be better if we cook our own meal. The rough guy rushed toward Miss Song, excited. She bought alcohol and meat. Jin Taekyung stood in place, disappointed. It's only the 5 of us. That evening, their tiny guild had a welcoming party for him. During dinner, Jin Taekyung learned a few things. First, Miss Song was the only woman and the only healer in the guild. Second, to his surprise, the guild master was Butler Kim. Before retiring, he was a famous high-level magician who fought in the Great War era. He still had plenty of power. Third, the top guild was the legendary Ares Guild, the strongest one that rose during the Great War. Butler Kim, Leader Choi, and Miss Song were top elites. They had all been in Ares before. Lastly, the day after the party would be the Peace Guild's first raid. They all sat in the car, heading to their destination. Leader Choi passed a tablet to Jin Taekyung. It was an enchanted tablet powered by C-rank magic ores. Because of that, only a few VIP elites could own one. Jin Taekyung asked, but why are you showing this to me? Leader Choi had uploaded footage of the raid they planned for today. Jin Taekyung clicked on it. In the video, they said, alright, let's take it slow, guys, especially the tank. Keep your shields up at all times. If they get past you, we're all in danger. I mean, you'll die by my hand before then, if that happens. The others laughed and replied, yes, sir. Then, as for the archers and mages, focus on one target when I give the signal. They replied, yes, sir. Sounds good. After watching the video and hearing their talk, Jin Taekyung thought, they have 4 tanks, some close-range fighters, some long-range damage dealers, and even healers. Their team setup looks solid. In the video, they said, we're here. Get into formation. Leader Choi added, that's right. The gate we're hitting today is B rank. The Hunters Association calls it the Labyrinth of the Minotaurs. On the video, cow-like monsters appeared. They carried heavy weapons and roared. Jin Taekyung watched the video closely. In it, multiple flying arrows hit the Minotaurs. The beasts got angry and attacked with full force. The tanks barely blocked the blows. One Minotaur faced attacks from different sides, a fireball struck its face, and a hunter slashed it with a sword from left and right. Both the Minotaur and the hunter fought hard. The furious Minotaur swung its shaped blade at every hunter in its path. Even the hunter recording the video got attacked, and the feed cut off. Curious, Jin Taekyung asked Leader Choi what happened next. Leader Choi replied, from the footage, there were 5 B-rank hunters and 10 C-rank hunters. They wiped out the Minotaurs, but 2 hunters died. The rough guy looked scared after the video. This place seems dangerous. Is it really okay for me to go? My gear isn't the best, it got destroyed in our last raid. Leader Choi said, don't worry. I've already picked gear that fits your role. The rough guy asked in surprise, really? As expected of our leader, Leader Choi started. Hunter M's gear set was made by North America's top engineer, Nicholas W.H. The rough guy cut in, since you picked it, it'll be great. Thanks. I'll use it well. After putting on their new gear, everyone looked happy and chatted about how well it suited them. Jin Taekyung asked Butler Kim, what about your gear? Leader Choi quickly said, I told you to call him Guild Master. Butler Kim showed his gear, which he always wore. In the Peace Guild, 2 B-rank hunters, 2 C-rank hunters, and 1 E-rank hunter. In the Sangdong Guild, 5 B-rank hunters and 5 C-rank hunters. Total, 15 hunters. The field manager said, I'm sure you're aware, but the raid rate for this B-rank gate is set. Peace Guild will team up with Sangdong Guild, which has 5 B-rank and 5 C-rank hunters. The officer added, due to last week's deaths, the Hunters Association has added stricter rules for safety. We've increased the number of hunters needed to enter. That's why this is a joint raid. He introduced, this is Chang Su-kang, leader from Sangdong Guild. Butler Kim greeted, I'm Kim Hwa-jong, Guild Master of Peace Guild. Jin Taekyung thought, Sangdong Guild is famous in the Ban district. They have 20 B-rank hunters. But a young guy like him is their team leader? He used his chi sensation and realized Chang Su was strong. Chang Su glanced at Miss Song, and she noticed. Jin Taekyung wondered, why does his name sound familiar? Where have I heard it before? Chang Su winked with a smile. After greetings, he turned away. Miss Song thought, what was that just now? The field manager said. Oh, right, I forgot to mention. The 2 hunters who died last week were C-rank tanks. Since you have an E-rank filling in as a tank, I hope that won't cause issues. The rough guy choked in shock. The Peace Guild master said humbly, this man has been a hunter for over 20 years. He's a veteran. We've given him good gear, so there won't be problems on our side. The field manager replied, I see. Being a veteran has its perks. He glanced at Chang Su, who nodded. Then the manager laughed. All right, sounds good. With 7 B-rank hunters here, there won't be any trouble. Team leaders, control your guild members well. Leader Choi whispered to the rough guy, looks like we're clear. Jin Taekyung thought, control us, the field manager gave permission, you may enter the labyrinth of the Minotaurs. One by one, they stepped through the gate. Jin Taekyung entered and noticed, B-rank gates are huge. The rough guy followed, surprised by the inside. Soon, the system alerted, you have entered the labyrinth of the Minotaurs. Your quest to clear a B-rank gate has begun. Leader Choi said, before we go further, let's check our gear. Jin Taekyung checked his, then opened his command menu for the quest. The system showed, you entered a B-rank gate for the first time. Clear it for rewards and bonuses. Jin Taekyung smiled and thought, this quest isn't bad at all. While he checked, Chang Su asked, what are you doing over there? Jin Taekyung looked left, confused. Why is he here? Chang Su said. You're Jang Taekyung from Peace Guild, right? It's Jin Taekyung, he corrected. Chang Su mispronounced it again. Jin Taekyung got annoyed. Do you need something? Chang Su walked closer. Now that I'm near, I see it's the Black Drake armor set. On the other side, Leader Choi held his shaped blade, watching them talk. The other guild leader laughed. Then a man whispered to Chang Su, and he left. Jin Taekyung stood still, staring. Leader Choi approached. Do you know him? Nope. He just started talking. Are you sure he wasn't scouting you? Jin Taekyung pointed to his gear. I think he's a gear geek like you. He asked where I got it. Leader Choi looked serious. That man. Why? Something wrong? He's wearing limited edition gear. That armor is hard to get. Jin Taekyung got mad. You two really like messing with me. Members of Chang Su's guild asked, Hyung, why talk to that weak guy? I felt like it. He had decent gear. Damn, you're right. Did he say it was his? Chang Su gritted his teeth. Use your brain, idiot. Do you think a C rank like him owns that? He's probably renting it. Crazy. The interest must be huge. He laughed, who cares? He's just trying to survive. How cute. He thought, a no-name guild shows up with top gear. I was curious. I bribed the gate operator to kick them out, but I let them join. That girl is my type Song, right? With power and money, picking up girls on raids is easy. But I need to get rid of that sleazy tank first. And that weak C rank, I'll take his gear. He smirked lustfully. Wait for me, my Song, Leader Choi said, alright, let's move, yes, sir. The rough guy replied. In the deep cave, only one minotaur appeared. It looked at them and said, oh. There it is, but wait, there's only one? After seeing just one minotaur, Chang Su's teammate smiled at him and said, looks like we won't need the ranged DPS to help us kill that bastard, Chang Su Hyung. Chang Su replied, then hurry up and get to it. All the members from High Mountain hid themselves and watched the minotaur. One teammate, Hyrin, said, I'll be right back. I will kill this monster. Another said, whoever suffers the least injuries buys tonight's drinks. Alright, suddenly, Hyrin noticed and watched another minotaur come out of the cave. He said, that one looks smaller than the first. You can kill it, since it seems weaker. The other guy replied, looks like there are 2 of them now. Behind them, the guy holding the sharp blade said, what are you talking about? Stop trying to act tough. He had a crazy smile on his face. Again, Hyrin noticed something and said, wait a second, there are more than 2 minotaurs. The leader, Chang Sun, thought, there's 8 of them now. They started facing 8 minotaurs. When Leader Choi asked Jin Taekyung for his opinion, Jin Taekyung replied, I'm not sure, but I think it'll be pretty difficult for 4 people to take care of 8 minotaurs. Leader Choi asked again, what about you? Jin Taekyung was silent for a moment. He thought, the minotaurs are B-rank monsters, and their levels range from mid to late 50s. That's like second-rate warriors? No, more like first-rate warriors. If this was the Murim world, fighting them would be troublesome. Then he looked at his gear and thought, since I'm wearing this ridiculously overpowered gear, I can do it. Before he could finish thinking, he noticed Leader Choi staring at him from the right, still waiting for a reply. Jin Taekyung nervously said, I'm not too sure, huh? Leader Choi questioned, you're not too sure? Interesting. Most C-rank hunters would never give that kind of answer. They'd flat out reject or not even consider the idea I just asked about. I've always felt this, but you truly are a peculiar man, Mr. Jin Taekyung. Jin Taekyung nervously replied, that's not it, team leader. That wasn't the point I was trying to make. Before he could say more, a voice from behind said, you're absolutely correct. The more I hear him talk, the funnier he gets. It was Chang Su with a mad smile. He said, I couldn't help but overhear your conversation since it was quite humorous. I hope you guys don't mind. Then there was a moment of silence. Chang Su thought, damn dumbass. Not only did he ask a C-rank hunter about killing 8 minotaurs, but the C-rank himself couldn't give a clear answer? He looked at Song Song and thought, looks like this is a good chance for me to get rid of them both. I'll make sure to humiliate them in front of Song Song. Leader Choi stepped forward and said, it was a simple question. No harm intended. Chang Su stopped and said, who cares if that's the case? With a smug expression, he pointed and said, my guys over there are pretty weak. People might praise them for being B-ranks, but among all the B-rank hunters out there, they are on the lower end. However, they are still far better than a C-rank hunter, wouldn't you agree, Mr. Jin Taekyung? He smiled. Jin Taekyung replied, yes. Of course, Mr. Shit Chang-soo. Hearing that, everyone kept silent. They didn't expect it. Chang-soo asked, what did you just say? He was mad and said, did you lose your mind? Jin Taekyung, controlling his anger, said, what about it, you damn bastard? How many times do I have to tell you that my name is Jin Taekyung? Chang-soo got even madder and reminded him, we are inside a gate. Jin Taekyung replied, no shit, you bastard. Chang-soo got more frustrated and said, so, if you truly care about your life, I suggest you shut your mouth right now. Jin Taekyung, still controlling his anger, replied, oh? Is that supposed to be a threat? I'm literally shaking in fear, Mr. Shit Chang-soo. While they argued, Mr. Butler stepped in to calm them down. Song Song said, hey, now is not the time for this. Chang-soo immediately changed his attitude and said, yes, you're right. I'll let it slide for today. It wouldn't look good for the renowned Sangdong Guild to have a petty fight with a low-ranking hunter. Again, Chang-soo called out, oi, Jang Taekyung. Hearing that, Jin Taekyung got angry and shouted, you still going to keep this up? But Butler Kim held him back. Chang-soo said, looks like you're feeling cocky with that gear you have. So why don't we do this instead? He raised his hand, showing 5 fingers, and said, $500,000. I will give you $500,000 per kill if you can solo that Minotaur herd. It'll be a total of $4 million. I'll even let you keep all the monster drops. What do you think? Hearing that, everyone was surprised. $4 million? Jin Taekyung said in disbelief, you're seriously going to give me that much money? $4 whole million? Chang-soo smiled and said, giving it to you? Of course not. He added, this is a bet. If you die or run from the fight, the bet is off. And to make it fun, let's say Miss Song Song joins the Sangdong Guild if you lose. Jin Taekyung yelled in anger, what kind of nonsense are you talking? Leader Choi asked Song Song what she thought. Song Song said, to be honest, I hate greedy playboys, so he's not my type. But I don't hate the Sangdong Guild, Chang-soo thought to himself, she's just like I pictured. But once you join my guild, it's not easy to leave. Leader Choi stepped in and said, fine, let me join this bet too. The higher the stakes, the more exciting, right? I'm betting $4 million that Mr. Jin Taekyung will kill all 8 Minotaur warriors. Chang-soo laughed and said, what a crazy guy you are. One's excited to die, and the other's too eager to throw away money. Then Leader Choi turned to Jin and said, we're waiting for your answer, Mr. Jin Taekyung. What will it be? Jin Taekyung asked, but what if I lose? Leader Choi said with confidence, no. You'll win. Jin Taekyung accepted the bet. Hook Jun was the only one worried about him. The other team members seemed blinded by their greed for cash. Hook Jun thought, you guys should value your lives more than risking them for money. I have to stop this. He ran fast to stop Jin Taekyung, but before he could reach him, Jin had already moved. Hook Jun said, when did he get over there? Wait, this is bad. The Minotaur looked at Jin Taekyung as he came closer. Waving his spear, Jin said, it's my first time fighting cow monsters. He charged at the Minotaur, which roared and attacked back. In the next second, with one swing, Taekyung killed a Minotaur. Seeing that one blow take it down shocked the rough guy. Song Song was surprised, but Leader Choi and Butler Kim smiled. The other guild members were shocked too. After killing the Minotaur, Jin Taekyung smiled and said, this isn't as hard as I thought. At that moment, Chang-soo thought, shit. There goes my $4 million. Jin Taekyung quickly attacked the other Minotaurs with his spear. He cut one down in a flash. Then, using his speed, he took out 3 more, then 4, then 5. After catching his breath, he used his hand aura to rip apart parts of another Minotaur, bringing his count to 6 and 7. He dashed forward again, jumping to strike the next one with his spear. This time, the Minotaur blocked with its blade. But Jin Taekyung's shaped spear cut the sword in 2 and felled the beast. He had now taken down 8 Minotaurs. He took a deep breath and laughed. Time for me to enjoy my delicious payment, he said. A system notification appeared, you have leveled up. Soon, they learned that Chang-soo was the son of the Sangdong Guildmaster. Due to losing the bet, Chang-soo knelt on the ground. The Peace Guild members stared at him. The rough guy said, no wonder you're loaded with money. After learning who Chang-soo was, Jin Taekyung teased him. Who cares if you're the son of the Sangdong Guildmaster? You're only 25. Do you think it's okay to disrespect your seniors? Answer me, Chang-soo gritted his teeth, holding back his anger. Sorry, he muttered. Jin Taekyung remembered something. I wondered why your name sounded familiar. So that's you. A Hyung I know told me about you. As the Sangdong Guildmaster's son and a B-rank hunter, you got a leadership spot in your dad's guild. But you're the black sheep of the family. All you do is chase girls. The Sangdong Guild hunters nearby heard this. One thought, Chang Soo-hyung hates when people call him out like that. Jin Taekyung kept teasing. That's why your nickname is Greedy Piggy, right? Mr. Song burst out laughing. Chang Soo gritted his teeth harder, frustrated. He reached for his sword. You damn bastard. Before he could act, Jin Taekyung kicked him. Chang Soo's sword flew away. Jin Taekyung pressed his spear to Chang Soo's neck and said coldly, we're inside a gate, you little shit. That's what you said earlier. Did you forget? Chang Soo surrendered. He had no choice. Sorry, he said. Jin Taekyung kept the spear at his neck. Then show it. Chang Soo said nervously, okay, wait, what? Jin Taekyung replied, you just drew your weapon on me. Don't you know the laws about attempted murder? That's why I'm telling you to sincerely apologize to me and my guildmates. Chang Su didn't get it. He looked away. What do you mean? His teammates pretended not to see anything, looking nervous. Chang Su glared at Jin Taekyung with anger. Butler Kim sighed. To think the team leader of the Sangdong Guild would draw his weapon on us. That's shameful. He put a hand on his forehead. Mr. Song laughed and said to the rough guy, I guess he does want to pay up after losing the bet. Wow, Chang Su is such a scum, right? Wouldn't you agree, mister? The rough guy replied, oh yeah, what a rotten kid he is, Leader Choi spoke up. Okay, everyone, look at this. He pointed to his chest and showed a device. This is a high-quality armor set made by a famous crafter in Finland. It gives special powers, and it's enchanted with recording magic, Chang Su muttered, shit. Fine, I'll do it, Jin Taekyung asked. Do what? Chang Su replied, I'll do whatever you want me to do. Outside the cave, minotaur bodies lay scattered. The Peace Guild headed inside, chatting among themselves. Chang Su and his team followed behind. As they walked, Chang Su thought, who the hell is this guy? He's definitely not a C-rank hunter. No C-rank could wipe out 8 minotaurs alone. Did he use doping drugs? Or is he a false ranker? I'll find out the truth once we leave this gate. 2 Sangdong Guild members stepped forward. One asked their team leader, Chang Su, are you okay? The other added, are you hurt anywhere? Chang Su shouted angrily, shut up, you shitty bastards. How dare you sit back and not help? Disloyal idiots. Get out of my sight. You're all expelled from the guild when we get out. Sweat broke out on their faces. One said, no, that's not it. We just couldn't find the right moment to step in. Please forgive us. They whispered among themselves. Who will accept us if we get kicked out of Sangdong? I have bills to pay this month. The girl ran up and grabbed Chang Su. Please reconsider. The others added, we'll do whatever you want this time. Please, Hyung. Chang Su stopped walking. Anything? I didn't hear that wrong, right? The Sangdong members froze for a moment. Then Chang Su told his teammates, we're about to enter the boss zone. The boss is the legendary Minotaur warrior. It's a B-rank monster, but its strength matches an A rank. Even if Jin Taekyung is strong, I doubt he can handle it alone. That's when we'll strike. Soon, Son, it's unfortunate, but it has to be done. You guys can handle the healer. Right? If one of his guildmates is in danger, Jin Taekyung won't focus on his fight. Their guild master is a B-rank magician, weak up close. Their A-rank tank is no threat. The real danger is Choi Min-woo. I'll deal with him myself. Don't let me down, you know what happens if you fail, his teammates replied, of course. Just trust us, team leader. Soon, Jin Taekyung yelled, hey. We're at the boss zone. Get your asses over here. Chang Su turned quickly. Yes, sir. He smiled darkly to himself. Jin Taekyung, get ready for the consequences of humiliating me. In the next second, Jin Taekyung unleashed one strike. The boss fell. The system alert rang, you have eliminated the LV. 70 legendary Minotaur warrior, Taekyung wiped his brow. Phew, you gotta go out with a bang in gates like this. To his teammates, he said, hurry and collect the loot. Let's leave, I'm starving. He looked at the others. What's wrong with you guys? They were all shocked by the one-strike kill. The rough guy asked, surprised, you're seriously asking us that? Leader Choi added, also stunned, I had no idea you were this capable. Do you have time to talk about it after the raid? Jin Taekyung replied nervously, yes, later. Before Ms. Song could speak, he noticed something. What the hell are you guys doing over there? The 2 Sangdong members behind Mr. Song raised their hands, bodies shaking. Nothing. We're just standing here. Jin Taekyung looked at Chang Su. What's with your face? You hurt somewhere? Chang Su's body shook after seeing the strike. I'm feeling a little tired right now. He thought in fear, he's a monster. Nothing good will come from messing with him, Jin Taekyung said, drink your potion. Aren't you supposed to be rich? Chang Su stayed silent for a moment. Then Jin Taekyung added, anyway, hurry up and collect the loot. I'm tired. Outside the gate, the gatekeeper saw the loot pile and said, that's a lot of materials. Did you kill all the minotaurs in the labyrinth or something? How do you want to handle this loot? As you know, you have 2 options, sell it yourselves or hand it to a vendor. Before he could finish, the butler told the officer, we'll sell all the loot to the supervising agency. Jin Taekyung pulled Chang Su aside. Remember to send the funds tomorrow. Chang Su replied, yes, sir. Hearing that, Jin Taekyung smiled happily. As expected of a rich boy. Here's my account number. Transfer the money there tomorrow. If you don't, it won't be fun for anyone. Got it? Now go. Take care. Chang Su left, feeling ashamed. Hakjun asked Jin Taekyung, do you really think he'll pay? Jin Taekyung replied, and what do you think will happen if he doesn't? The rough guy said, I mean, what can you do? The Sangdong Guild is famous and has a lot of power. If he sues you or presses charges, Jin Taekyung cut in smartly, come on, we have proof of everything he did to us. The rough guy turned slowly. He could destroy the evidence. Jin Taekyung said, I'm only pushing this because I've heard some rumors from people. Taekyung asked, what kind of rumors? It's about Chang Su's guild master. His nickname is Frozen. He's an A-rank hunter and a mage who played a big role in the Great Catastrophe. He was one of the few mages good at systematic freezing magic, that's how he got the name. Instead of retiring after the catastrophe, he started the Sangdong Guild. But Buchan province already had big guilds, so it was tough for a new one to survive. The only reason Sangdong is still around is because Chana wiped out all the rivals by himself. That's when rumors of his cruelty started. So, what do you think would happen if a man like that found out about today? About the 4 million bet he lost? A total of $8 million were transferred. Could he really ignore the shame and humiliation to his only son? On the other side, the Sangdong Guild master sat in a chair, thinking about the 8 million. After hearing everything, he got angry. Which whore was it this time? The door opened. The guild master noticed. Soon, a man said, Master Chanu, I've brought him. He pushed Chang Su forward. Chang Su said fearfully, Father, let me explain. Chanu replied, all right. It seems you're finally here. He used his freezing aura to form a weapon in his hand. I have a lot of questions. But first, let me knock some sense into you. Chang Su quickly said, no, father, just give me some time. His father yelled angrily, shut the hell up, you brat. Then he beat him with the weapon. Painful cries echoed. In the afternoon, at a restaurant in the marketplace, people sat eating and talking. Jin Taekyung's mom picked up dirty plates to clean the tables. She was tired from all the work and sweating. Suddenly, the restaurant doorbell rang. After the customer entered, his mom noticed and turned. Welcome. Before she could say more, it was Jin Taekyung, her son, standing there. He greeted her happily. She was surprised to see him. He showed them his bank account, with $4 million transferred in. His mom and sister stared at the amount in shock. They couldn't believe it. He said, I'm earning a lot of money these days. He wished his mom could rest, no need for her to keep working at the restaurant. I just want you and Hyen to live safe, happy lives, he told them. I know you've refused my money because you don't want to burden me. But I won't rest easy if you turn down my help, Mom. He pointed to his sister too. Stop staying up so late studying. Take better care of your body. Then he noticed something. What's wrong with your face? Are you hurt? Suddenly, Hyen said, I have a high fever right now. They sent me home early from school. It's okay, though, summer break starts tomorrow, so I just need to study a bit more. Jin Taekyung shouted, what? Did you even see a doctor? Her mom checked her forehead. Hyen replied, I did. I'm taking the prescribed medicine. Jin Taekyung wondered, I know it's expensive, but a famous healer or high-quality potion would fix her fast. Why are they holding back like this? Even basic chi circulation could help instantly. Suddenly, he realized something. Then Taekyung asked his sister to hold out her hands. She said angrily, what the hell are you doing? Why are you holding my hands? It's kind of gross. Before she finished, Jin Taekyung said, just stay still. He thought, will it work? The chi meditation activated in his stomach, then flowed to his hands and into his sister's. She noticed it and asked nervously, what is this? Jin Taekyung thought, it's working. He recalled, the Jin family's cultivation technique has a slower speed, but it builds an extremely strong and stable internal core. That's why I'm sure Hyen will be able to control it too, he blinked and teased her. It's going to hurt a bit. But just endure it. Okay, she asked in shock and disbelief. What? More chi energy flowed into her body. An hour passed. Both breathed heavily, then the system notification appeared. You have successfully completed your chi transfer. Your chi has improved slightly. After that, she checked her fever, it was completely gone. She shouted happily, brother, what did you just do? Jin Taekyung took deep breaths and replied, let's just say you were cured with an extremely powerful oriental healing technique. Anyhow, how are you feeling? She explained. After the recovery finished, it hurt at first. But after some time, I felt relief. My body feels lighter, and my headache is gone. How do I explain it? I guess it's like all the bad energies from my body got flushed out? I don't know if that makes sense, Jin Taekyung thought, that's pretty accurate. Then they smelled the flushed energies coming from her. He said, alright, sure. Hurry and wash up, you reek, she looked at herself. But I took a shower this morning. What do you? He suddenly realized the flushed energies and ran to the shower. Seeing her like this, Jin Taekyung thought, where else would the 19 years of turbid energy in your body go? It all got pushed out through your pores. At this rate, you should start to feel something else coming out your, there we go, it's begun. Jin Taekyung's mom looked at Hyen and said, oh my goodness. When I was younger, I had some experience with oriental medicine, but not to this extent. Her skin looks so clear now. Jin Taekyung smiled and showed his hands. The effects aren't bad, right? Do you want to try it, Mom? His mom said, should I? My digestion has been pretty bad these days. Maybe I should. Suddenly, they heard Hyen's voice. More flushed energies released from her body. Before they could try again, she screamed. Her mom quickly put her hand down in fear. Jin Taekyung said, let's do this after Hyen gets out of the bathroom. Her mom nodded. All right. They only had one bathroom in the house, Jin Taekyung shouted into his phone. What? A 1-week break? The voice on the phone confirmed, that's correct. After hearing that, Jin Taekyung thought, a 1-week break? Did something happen with the guild? While walking on the road, he asked into the phone, you guys didn't get in trouble with the Sangdong Guild, right? Leader Choi replied, Sangdong Guild? Jin Taekyung reminded him, well, there was that incident with Chang-soo. Leader Choi said, there's no need to worry about that. We're remodeling the guild right now. It should be done in about a week. Jin Taekyung thought, thank God nothing happened. Then he said, but what does remodeling have to do with raiding? Leader Choi added, I still want some work to do. Leader Choi replied, I'll see you in a week. But Jin Taekyung said, I know you told me to take a break, but I think, before he finished, he saw a shop ahead. I'm hanging up now. I have some work to do. Leader Choi said, okay. Jin Taekyung put his phone away. He opened the shop gate and entered. An old man sitting at a desk saw him. Jin Taekyung said, I'm here to look for some houses. On the other side, after finishing the call with Jin Taekyung, Leader Choi put his phone down. Butler Kim, sitting on the couch, asked, what did he say? Leader Choi, standing by the table, replied, it seems he was pretty worried about the issues with the Sangdong Guild. Butler Kim smiled. He's quite an interesting young man. Even though he acts without much thought, his senses are sharp. Leader Choi remembered when he first met Jin Taekyung. He was just a clueless F-rank hunter back then, but he had soloed a B-rank gate all by himself last time. I had some suspicions, but this just confirms it. Jin Taekyung is a hunter who keeps getting stronger and at an extremely fast pace. Leader Choi said, Butler Kim. He replied, yes, young master. Leader Choi asked, do you think you can find any information on hunters who received a third awakening? Butler Kim looked shocked. Excuse me? In the guild hall, after hearing the update, Butler Kim said it would take some time, but he was sure it would be worth investigating. Leader Choi thanked him and added, remember to keep me posted. Then he asked, any news on the Sangdong Guild? Butler Kim replied, the Sangdong Guild has already sent out spies. I'm certain their main target is Jin Taekyung, but we can't rule out Miss Song or Mr. Rough Guy as possibilities either. That's why I warned them early. He paused and asked, shouldn't we do the same for Jin Taekyung? Leader Choi smiled with confidence. It's fine. The Sangdong Guild's intelligence team is much stronger than ours. I'm actually hoping they uncover the truth about Jin Taekyung's identity. Butler Kim nodded. In any case, it seems the Sangdong Guildmaster has grown quite calm. If this had happened years ago, he would have declared war on us right away. Leader Choi raised an eyebrow. What do you mean by that? Butler Kim replied, I've met the Sangdong Guildmaster before. Are you two on bad terms? Leader Choi asked. Butler Kim laughed. I'm not exactly sure. Meanwhile, Jin Taekyung visited a real estate agent to buy a new house. It was a 4-room, 2-bathroom home with a large living room, 2 stories, and a private terrace. The agent pointed to it and said, this one matches your needs perfectly. It's in a safe district. What do you think? Jin Taekyung nodded. It's pretty good. But if I remember right, this used to be an old apartment complex. The agent smiled. You grew up around here, didn't you? This area was redeveloped 10 years ago, so things have changed a lot. It was full of rundown apartments back then, but now the Hunters Association's main headquarters is just 30 minutes away. Jin Taekyung thought, yeah, that makes sense. That's why our rent shot up, and we had to move. It was around the time my dad passed away. The agent asked, want to see other options? Jin Taekyung shook his head. If it's okay, can I walk around the neighborhood first? The agent looked nervous. Sure, but you'll think about the contract, right? Of course, Jin Taekyung said. The agent added, go ahead, but hurry back. As Jin Taekyung crossed the street, he thought, there used to be a supermarket around here. Am I going the right way? He overheard a couple talking about the old days, how hideous the place was and how some grumpy old lady lived nearby. Then a man walked toward him. Jin Taekyung glanced up, still lost in memories of the store, and suddenly thought, who the hell is that guy? The man grinned. I can't believe it. You're from Garam Middle School, right? 3rd year class 6, Jin Taekyung? It's me. Bro Park Ji-won. Jin Taekyung blinked in surprise. Park Ji-won? They chatted briefly, then Park left with the woman beside him. As they drove off, she said, there wasn't anything special about him. Park frowned. What's with the attitude? You don't like him, she shrugged. Yeah, since he's your friend, I didn't want to say it, but honestly, he just doesn't stand out. Park smiled. That's weird. He used to be pretty popular back in school. He was tall for his age, had a strong build, was great at sports, and wasn't bad looking. She rolled her eyes. Doesn't look that way now. What does he do for work? Park thought for a moment. I forgot to ask. When we were kids. He said he wanted to be a PE teacher. Maybe that's it? She smirked. You spoiled me. Because of you, I can't find any other guy who's as good looking and talented. You're hundreds of times better than your friend, Park chuckled. No need to trash him like that. He's a good guy. She pressed, you said it's been 10 years since you last saw him. He moved away and cut off contact. Are you sure you're even friends? Park smirked. Nope. Back on the street, Jin Taekyung held up a Myeongdong guild card that Park had given him. He thought, a friend I haven't seen in over 10 years is a hunter now? That's strange. He must be elite to join the Myeongdong Guild's 1st division. While sipping a drink, he added to himself, if I recall, he had dark skin and was pretty short back then. Looks like he hit a growth spurt, tall now, with a hot girlfriend. He's turned into a real catch. He remembered their quick chat, where Park had invited him to a middle school classmates' reunion party. Sitting on a bench, Jin Taekyung wondered, now that I think about it, were we even close? Suddenly, he realized he'd forgotten about the house contract. The agent was still waiting, barely hiding his frustration. By the time Jin returned, it was night. He walked home humming happily, thinking about the deal. The standard price is $3.3 million. They only need the down payment today, so we'll set a time to finalize it later. He planned ahead, we'll move after Hyun's final exams. I should remodel it to look like the old house we had when we were kids. Mom will be shocked. After that, I'll book an interior designer. Lost in thought, he sensed someone following him. He spun around, drawing his blade in a flash and slashing at the air. But there was nothing, just a stray cat. Jin Taekyung activated his chi sense to scan the area. The only thing it picked up was a level 1 street cat. He stored his blade and muttered, if the system doesn't detect anything, it's fine. Must be me getting paranoid lately. He kept walking, saying to himself, man, I'm craving ginseng chicken soup. I'll treat Mom and Hyun to dinner. In a hidden spot, a man in a red hood chugged water, his eyes wide with fear. Holy crap, that scared me. What's wrong with that guy? Why'd he turn and stare right at me? No way he noticed, it's impossible. He shuddered. I'm Hong Woo-jin, a B-rank mage. I'm not great at attacks, but no one beats me at tracking and surveillance magic. Even high-rank hunters never spot me. A C-rank like him? Impossible. It was just luck. Had to be. At home, flies buzzed everywhere. Jin Taekyung swatted another one, grumbling, why are there so many damn flies? Hyun rolled her eyes. It's summer. Duh. He shouted, it's not just one, it's a swarm. I've killed like 100 today. She poured water into a cup. Stop exaggerating. That's why guys are so, I'm not. Every time I get one, another shows up. It's endless. He pointed. See? There's another right there. Where are these things coming from? Hyun sipped her water. Just ignore it. It'll calm down in a few minutes. Jin Taekyung flopped on the couch. What kind of nonsense is that? You think it'll go away if you leave it? But the fly in my room is super quiet, she said. No way. Show me. He followed her to her room. Sure enough, a fly sat still on the wall. Hyun grinned. See? What did I tell you? Now pay up my $100. Hold on, Jin Taekyung said. He lunged to swat it, but the fly darted away, running across the wall instead of flying. Do flies usually do that? Hyun blinked. No idea. Maybe it just doesn't want to fly. Anyway, my money, the fly kept scurrying oddly, and they both stared in confusion. Jin Taekyung frowned. Something's wrong. The timing of its moves is off, and it's acting too normal. Plus, that weird feeling last night like someone was watching me. What if I'm not overreacting? He activated Chi Sense again. A notification popped up, level 1 housefly familiar. His eyes widened. What the hell is that? Sangdong Guild's investigation. After reading Jin Taekyung's report, Sangdong Guild Master Chanwoo questioned Team Leader 1. Do you think it's possible for a low-rank C-class hunter to take down a legendary Minotaur warrior all by himself? Team Leader 1 replied, no, I believe that's impossible. He then used his freezing aura to shatter the report into ice shards. Who the hell wrote this? I think his name was Hong something. It was Hong Woo-jin, Team Leader 1 said. He's young and lacks field experience, but his skills are the real deal. After destroying the report, the guild master said, yes, it's Hong Woo-jin. Tell that bastard to rewrite it. He paused, then added. What about the Peace Guild? Did you find anything on them? Team Leader 1 set down some files. Information on the guildmaster and the team leader is locked tight. The guildmaster reacted with surprise. What? Team Leader 1 continued, not only their personal details, but their financial records too. The intelligence team we hired is stumped. The guildmaster stayed silent for a moment, then asked, did you short them money? Even after I gave them a large sum, Team Leader 1 replied, then what's the problem? According to them, their bosses put these strict limits on the info. Guildmaster Chanwoo thought to himself, what the hell? They're a new guild, small, with no ratings. And not just one, but 2 key members are hidden. Something's off about this. Team Leader 1 asked, what should we do now, sir? Guildmaster Chanwoo said, the ones we hired, make sure they keep quiet. We'll investigate later. For now, focus on gathering everything we can on that target. Pull our intelligence team together and mobilize them. Team Leader 1 quickly asked, you want us to send our own team? The guildmaster turned around. That's right. This report isn't totally useless, there's something worth checking. And let's be honest, our team is skilled too. Team Leader 1 nodded, I suppose that's true. Just so you know. He trailed off, thinking about the man in the red hood. Guaranteed, in 1 week, I'll find out everything about him, even the color of his underwear. Make sure you guys stay out of it. If my target suspects anything, my work is done. Team Leader 1 wondered, should I tell him about this? But the guildmaster looked at him. Why? Got something else to say? Team Leader 1 bowed. No, sir. I'll carry out your orders. The guildmaster gave him permission to leave. Alone now, he stared at a family photo and thought, I hope nothing bad comes from this. Everything should be okay, right? Jin Taekyung was swatting flies and scouting around. Why are there so many flies? His sister said, it's summer, that's why. Jin Taekyung shouted, it's not just one. There are multiple. I caught like 100 today. His sister sighed. Stop exaggerating. This is why men are so, under the couch, a creature watched them, controlling the insects. It thought, how dare you slap me? Then it muttered, damn you, Sangdong Guild, you amateurs. Even after I told you not to get involved. I don't know what amazes me more, the fact that your familiar usage is so obvious, or that these idiots haven't noticed how blatant it is. Fine. Starting tomorrow, I'll be bolder. Familiar magic it is. Familiar magic is a rare control spell used by mages. It lets the user link with any living creature, turning it into a familiar. Depending on skill, the mage can command it. But there are limits. The distance between user and familiar can't exceed about 500 meters for a normal B-rank mage, 300 meters is safer. If a familiar dies while linked, the connection breaks forcefully, and the mage takes damage. That's why few mages specialize in this mind control magic, the training is tough. Plus, heavy use causes hair loss, leading to baldness. Jin Taekyung thought, after finding a familiar in my house the other day, this is all I could learn from the hunter community. I have guesses about who's sending them after me. While doing push-ups at full speed, he pondered, the only ones who'd hold a grudge right now are the Sangdong Guild. But with more than one familiar in my house, it's clear multiple groups are after me. That's why planning is hard. But it doesn't mean I'll do nothing. They're invading my life and my family's. I won't let them get away with it. The very next day, Jin Taekyung worked hard. He first went to a store for hunter gear and bought every low-rank item he could find. Then, he pretended to hunt for apartments, checking places within 500 meters of his home. He sensed faint mana traces everywhere, so he acted like he might have wiretap magic on him, asking roundabout questions to avoid tipping anyone off. In the end, he learned what he needed. These bastards started moving too. Hyan brought in a familiar disguised as a cat. The next day, another cat familiar appeared in front of me. They worried I wouldn't take cats home, so a random man showed up in the neighborhood, acting friendly toward me. Finally, I finished preparing. At night, using his computer, Jin Taekyung watched the two cat familiars stare at each other. The brown kitty thought, that gray kitty bastard has to be from Hongwu Jin. The gray kitty thought, brown kitty must be from Sangdong Guild. Jin Taekyung called someone. Hello, it's me, Jin Taekyung. The plan is in motion. It seems Sangdong Guild hasn't caught on yet. He reached into his pocket, both familiars spied closely. He pulled out a USB drive and said, I have it. It's right here with me. The cats noticed it instantly. On the phone, he added, I'll make sure to meet you then. He ended the call. The cats watched carefully. Jin Taekyung stood up. Oh, shit. Why is my body so sore today? Did I do too many push-ups last night? I guess I'll go for a stroll in the mountains to loosen up. He opened his room door and thought, from the real estate agents, I know 3 buildings surround my place as the center. There are also 3 spots with great views of my home. I wouldn't be shocked if they're based there. Since they use familiars over magic tools for surveillance, they're careful not to get detected. I need to take it slow, or I won't catch them. So, I'll force them to come to me. He turned and looked at the familiars. Just as I thought, they can't steal the USB with these kittens. He grinned wildly. I'm starting to look forward to it. You bastards better not disappoint me. In the middle of the night, strange sounds echoed from the rooftop. The door creaked open slowly. A man in a red hood stepped out, watching Jin Taekyung leave. The red hood man thought, should I follow him? I was hired to do this, so it's the right choice. But why does it feel so weird? He had seen many people tailing Jin Taekyung lately. Those must be from the Sangdong gang. Are they planning to attack? He typed a message on his phone, I see. You greedy jerks want all the credit for yourselves. I should have quit this job when the Sangdong guys showed up. Looking at Jin Taekyung, he muttered, I want to catch you myself. Then he sent another message to Team 1's leader, I'm quitting this job. Goodbye. Soon, Jin Taekyung reached a quiet hiking trail. He walked across a bridge, then took a hidden path into a dark, silent area. With every step, he heard more footsteps behind him. He stopped, laughed, and turned around. This isn't the way to the hiking trail. What do you want? 2 men following him froze. Jin Taekyung smiled. Not talking? Do you need something from me? One man snapped, you know your situation, kid. Why come all the way here? Jin Taekyung shrugged. You've been following me so hard, I got curious how far you'd go. Call it training for dogs. The man laughed angrily. Cocky brat. You need a lesson. Jin Taekyung grinned. I'll take that as a compliment. Mr. Choi Byung-il. The men gasped. How do you know my name? Jin Taekyung pointed at the other. And you, Mr. Kim Kwon-dong. We've met, right? I'll take good care of your cat. He named every man there. Uncomfortable standing like that? They shouted, who the hell are you? Jin Taekyung smirked. You can use your pets to spy on me, but I can't do the same? Mr. Choi, Mr. Kim, you even watched my family. That crossed the line. So I left some bait, and you took it. One man whispered, that USB. Jin Taekyung laughed. My greatest treasure? It's just my porn collection. Silence. Then Mr. Kim muttered, team leader. The leader, furious, gathered his aura and took a fighting stance. Enough. Kill this kid first, talk later. Jin Taekyung pulled out 2 sharp blades. Aura glowed around him. Come on, you stalkers. The fight began. Meanwhile, at the Sangdong Guild, the master frowned at the report. We don't know who Jin Taekyung talked to on the phone, and the details are even stranger. None of this adds up. We chased him without thinking, and now we've lost contact with our men. Is that right? Team 1's leader nodded. We get updates every 2 hours. Their last one was 4 hours ago. The guild master scanned the papers. Who was the person on the phone? You must know, since you're giving me this report. The team leader replied, Jin Taekyung talked to Sung Jinho, a 30-year-old man studying for an entrance exam. The master tossed the report aside. What? Preparing for an exam? Are you sure? The leader shifted nervously. I was confused too, but it's true. He lives in the same apartment as Jin Taekyung and is a close relative. The master shook his head. I thought it was an A-rank hunter. But it's just some guy cramming for a test? Chun Su laughed. Looks like we got played. The team leader asked, what should we do now, sir? The master stood up. What do you mean? It's dinner time. Let's go eat, the leader blinked. Excuse me, stop talking and follow me, the master said. Yes, sir, the leader replied. On the other side, at the hiking trail, Jin Taekyung had slashed most of the men's arms. Some shook with pain from broken legs. Blood splattered everywhere. Even Mr. Kim screamed, clutching his cut right hand. Jin Taekyung swung his blade at every attacker in his path. The leader sneaked up behind him and slashed down. But Jin Taekyung bent low and dodged. Then he spun and struck back. The leader's eyes widened in fear, but it was too late. Jin sliced his legs. The leader screamed and collapsed, shaking, with his body trembling. The leader gasped, what is your real identity? An A-rank hunter? Have you been hiding your rank? Jin Taekyung shook his head. Nope. I've never hidden who I am, you're lying, the leader yelled. Tell the truth. Were you sent by the area guild? Jin Taekyung stayed calm. No. I'm from the Peace Guild. Why would the area guild care about your weak group? You're not even in the same league. The leader started, then the person on the phone must have been Jin Taekyung's stuffed cloth in his mouth. Shut up. I'm asking the questions now. He held up a healing potion. Listen up. The first one to tell me everything about your mission gets this. He looked around. No one? You all want to stay quiet? He pointed his sword at one man. You there. The man with the broken hand stammered, I'm from the investigative unit. I'll never spill our secrets to an outsider. Jin Taekyung stepped closer. Oh? You're a familiar magic user, right? He grabbed the man's hat, yanked it off, and gripped his hair. With a wild smile, he said, lie to me once, and I'll pull out your hair one strand at a time. He yanked hard. The man screamed and passed out. Jin Taekyung thought, as I figured. The one behind this is the Sangdong Guildmaster, In Chun-su. He's after our guild because his son lost a ton of money to me. Too bad you came to spy, but I got all your secrets. His phone rang. He glanced at the screen. First time seeing this number. Who is it? He answered. Hello? It was Chun-su. I hear you have my men. Come to me. I'll wait. Jin Taekyung's eyes widened in surprise. Down at the hiking spot, they finally met. It was already midnight. The Sangdong Guildmaster looked at Jin Taekyung and said, you look different from the pictures in my reports. Did you end up killing anyone up there? Jin Taekyung stayed calm and replied, why would I do that? I don't want a criminal record. The Guildmaster smiled. Then I suppose I should thank you. It seems my men made a big mistake because they acted too fast. Can you forgive them? Jin Taekyung shrugged. Maybe, if you pay up. Team leader 1 got angry. Watch your manners, kid. Jin Taekyung kept his cool. I may be young, but I don't need a lecture from you. You were the one spying on me. Team leader 1 gritted his teeth. You little. He stepped forward, but the guildmaster raised a hand to stop him. Channa, the guildmaster, spoke seriously to team leader 1. Go get our men. Team leader 1 bowed. I'm sorry. I'll do it right away. He left them alone. They stood in silence for a moment. Then the guildmaster asked, do you know why I'm here? Jin Taekyung said, because you wanted to see me? The guildmaster pulled his hands from his pockets, his face turning angry. When you get as old as me, you'll learn that time is precious. I'm not the type to come out here just to look at your face. He released a freezing aura that locked his feet in ice. Cold air swirled around him as he spoke. The last 10 years have been long and boring. I finally united all the guilds around me. We had no more enemies. That is, until your group showed up. Your guildmaster and team leader have secret profiles with heavy restrictions on their info. Jin Taekyung thought nervously, this old man seemed reasonable at first, but what's with this creepy vibe? The guildmaster gave a wild smile and continued, above all, your very existence annoys me. He formed a freezing circle on the ground and summoned ice arrows, ready to fire them at Jin Taekyung. Jin Taekyung shook a little and said, do you really have to go this far for a C-rank hunter? The guildmaster gripped the freezing aura in his hands. If I get involved in something, I finish it. Even against a C rank. He swung a punch, shaping the cold energy into sharp arrows aimed at Jin Taekyung. Jin Taekyung gritted his teeth. Do I dodge? Block? Pull out my spear? Or hold back? Suddenly, a voice rang out, surge before me. Fire wall. A blazing wall of fire erupted, blocking the attack completely. Jin Taekyung stared in shock. Even the guildmaster looked surprised and thought, that's. Before he could speak, the voice called again, surge before me. Fire wall. Butler Kim stepped forward. Looks like I got here just in time. Chanu's mind flashed back. When I first saw the report on the Peace Guild, I thought my eyes tricked me. The man in the photo looked just like someone I never expected to see again. His face was a little similar, that's all. That demon died over 30 years ago. Our world has changed a lot, but dead people don't come back. Even if he did, why waste time in a place like this? It's just a coincidence. This old hunter looks like him, nothing more. At my age, I still get haunted by old trauma. He sat on the couch, drinking alcohol. He thought about it. Soon after, he heard the news that Kim Hwa-jung's information was under high restrictions. He started to doubt himself. Could it be? No. That's not possible. But those bad signs were real after all. On the scene, all the freezing arrows scattered after the call surged before me. Fire wall. The guild master stared in shock. He could not believe his eyes. These flames. Instructor. It was Butler Kim standing in front of him. Butler Kim smiled. It's been a while. 28th Regiment, 2nd Squadron of the 1st Division. Chanu, the Sangdong Guildmaster, yelled, first recruit him. Chanu. Jin Taekyung stood there, confused. He had no idea what was going on. By then, Team Leader 1 and the others were heading down the trail. But the two men had already left. Team Leader 1 asked, Master, are you alright? Guildmaster Chanu turned around. Took you bastards long enough. Team Leader 1 looked around. Forgive me, sir. I thought something bad happened. Wait, where did Jin Taekyung go? Guildmaster Chanu said, after talking to him, I realized he's not a bad kid. In any case, what's wrong? Team Leader 1 said, I figured he might have done something. Guildmaster Chanu coughed. Is it because you heard some screaming earlier? Team Leader 1 nodded nervously. Yes, that's correct, sir. But I don't know why. That voice oddly seemed like. Before he could finish, the Guildmaster glared at him angrily. What about the voice? Team Leader 1 shook his head. It's nothing, sir. Guildmaster Chanu waved it off. Some young troublemakers down there were making noise, so I taught them a lesson. My goodness, do colleges not enforce military discipline anymore? Team Leader 1 said, right, sir. But all the other men stood there, ashamed after their beating. The Guildmaster went on. What's it called? Oh right. PT training. I gave them a quick drill. They were so out of shape that they screamed in pain after just a few rounds. He pointed his finger. That's why I. No, that's not important here. Captain of the investigative unit. The captain replied, yes, sir. How pathetic can you be? Even after causing this mess, you sure don't seem sorry at all. He bowed. Forgive me, sir. Meanwhile, Team Leader 1 thought to himself, that couldn't have been our guildmaster's voice. I guess I was just hearing things. Lots of people badmouth our guildmaster behind his back. But after serving under him, you see he's full of charm and skill. He's a great teacher who guides you in every way. He deserves total respect. Guildmaster, I'll follow you forever. Then he noticed dirt on the guildmaster's back. Why is there dirt there? I guess he went all out teaching those young kids. The Sangdong Guildmaster yelled, in any case, you all better prepare yourselves once we get back to the guild. On the other side, in a car driving down the road, it was Jin Taekyung and Butler Kim. Jin Taekyung looked at Butler Kim, confused. Then he remembered a flashback, Butler Kim kicking Chanu in the feet and yelling, who the hell uses mana during physical training exercises? Chanu screamed in pain. Butler Kim commanded, line up. Eyes to the front. Line up. Eyes to the front. Get down on all fours. On your back. All yours back. He shouted louder, why the damn hell were you tormenting your junior? How many times do I have to tell you? Seniors should always help their juniors. We'll be doing 8 rounds of 100 training exercises. Understand? Guildmaster Chanu replied, understood, sir. After watching, Jin Taekyung thought, he used to be a 3-star instructor at the Hunters Association. Does that mean all the hunters back then were trained by Butler Kim? He has to be an A-rank hunter since he single-handedly took down the Sangdong Guildmaster. If he's really that skilled, why the hell is he playing around as a butler? Butler Kim smiled. It seems you're full of questions. Jin Taekyung said, if I'm being honest, yes. Yes, I am, Butler Kim smirked. It's a long story, you know. Jin Taekyung replied, that's fine. I'm on break right now. I have lots of time, Butler Kim said, oh? Then I guess this is the perfect time for you to tell me about yourself too. There's a lot I'm curious about. Jin Taekyung's eyes went wide. He pointed his finger. You can just drop me off over there. Since tomorrow is the last day of my break, there are a few things I still have to do. It seems I'll have to sleep early tonight. Then he laughed. Butler Kim replied, "Oh. I see. Then I'll see you after your break." Jin Taekyung said, "Thank you for the ride."